You mean you wasn't hanging out at the Century Club with Dr. Dre and all them folks like I
didn't
was?
even know where the Century Club.
I'm lying. I wasn't.
Oh,
I
okay. I'm
wasn't in
like,
there.
what
I was
Century Club?
outside trying to get in.
If
I'm
you
Eric
had called
Benet.
me,
Eric
we could
Bahoo.
have snuck in together.
But there was Love's Taking Over and It's All Right, and those are just iconic songs. And then you moved on to the album in 1999 with Chanté's Got a Man. That
There was
was
one in between that, I think.
oh, see, look at me.
A Love Supreme was between. Yeah, but it's good.
Yeah, tell me about the transition from Precious to Love Supreme to Chanté's Got a Man.
Well, I think the fun part is I love to make music. I think no matter what happens, if you keep that love, a real authentic love for creating the music, recording the music, and then presenting the music to the world, performing the music. I think if you have all of those, I think you can keep your love thriving in this industry without the industry, because that's not what I do it for. But anyway, the first record was just, who thought this could ever happen to me, for real?
I remember
and
that
so
feeling.
It was, I love it.
Yeah,
I love that.
I remember that feeling like it was yesterday. But I mean,
What year was that for you?
well, my first solo album came out in '96, and I had an album with my sister in '92 around the time. Yeah, and it was called Benét, and nothing really happened with that album. It was one of those, nice try, go back to Milwaukee. And that's pretty much what I did. I went back and I was single dad, doing my thing, working, had a couple jobs, and I went into the studio in Milwaukee with my cousin and my friend DeMonte, and I just started writing a bunch of demos and sent them to who I had already established a relationship with because she signed me to EMI, Allison. I was like, Allison, I've been working on these demos. Take a listen to this. And by the time she was at Warner Brothers, she was like, this is the record. So that was my first album, True to Myself. And, I just remember this incredible, well, obviously the visuals, the face card and all the rest of it, off the chain, and the 5-octave range. And there's some people who could do the 5-octave range, they call it the whistle note, but there's other people that can do it with emotion and control it, and you're one of them freaks of nature. And you obviously you were nominated for American Music Awards.
Only
and
one, and that wasn't for any of those records ever. That's what's interesting, is that people go, and Grammy nominated. I don't think I'm Grammy nominated at all. I did win one.
There is no justice in the universe, I'll tell you that.
It's not what I do it for. I did have to come to Jesus on that, because it's about the people. It is about what my purpose is. And my purpose is not to sell records. My purpose is not to be number one, even though we thrive and we strive for that.
Yeah.
My purpose is to encourage people in the middle of their lives with my song. That's what
I remember
here
us
for.
talking about that in the studio.
Yep.
And you feeling like that is a purpose of yours, and that's so inspirational.
But if it wasn't, it's not. It might be inspirational, but the truth of it is, if I'm in it for awards and number ones, as I was feeling it a couple of times in my life, I wouldn't do it anymore.
Right.
Because if the reward is, thank you, I want to thank my mom and dad for the
Right,
support.
right.
And if that's what it's for, then I needed to quit. And for a while I was like, don't nobody care, ain't nobody thinking about it, ain't nobody. And then I had to hit that bottom part and really start talking to the Lord and myself about what is really important. What do you do it for? I know everybody ain't a Christian, but it reminded me of when Christ died for our sins. Now, I believe that to be the truth. People say if he would have died for one. Well, if he would die for one, that would have been me.
Right.
So if it was just one, it would just only have to be just one of us. So he would have died for just one. I had to start thinking, who do you sing for?
That's
Who are you
beautiful.
going to sing? If you go to a show and they say, Chanté, come, here's $15 and do your show. If there's 5 people, if there's 5
If there's
million people,
5,000, 5 million, yeah.
what show is it? Same show.
Same. You know what? When we talk about longevity and we talk about staying power, I think the integrity of the answer to that question is it. I think you just described somebody who is giving of themselves creatively, not for any multitudes of adoration and how many people are there and present, or how many views you get, and all the rest of the criteria of shallow fake affirmation. You do it for the love of what it is, and if there's one person out there who feels what you're doing, then you put the same amount of love and energy into it.
It is. And I'm not saying that I don't want number ones. I'm not saying that I don't want to sing to a crowd of 5,000.
Right.
Because I'm saying that it's not that I don't want
Yes.
to have
'Cause I
number
want it
ones.
too.
I do. I do. Because it's another kind of reward. It's another kind of pat on the back or reassurance that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, or that people like what you're doing. This is the industry that you can't sell any records without somebody wanting to buy your record. Somebody's got to say, we think you're good enough for this.
Yeah.
You can't just do a good job and then get paid. It's not being a doctor.
That ain't how this works.
No. Someone has to approve of you and want to hear you sing. So that in itself is like, okay, how do I please everybody? No.
Can I ask you a question related to that? Do you feel that the how do I say this delicately or not so delicately, because this is the Co-Star podcast. Do you think the praise in this generation or this evolution of the music industry, the adulation is not so much for the talent as much as it is for the personality?
Yes, I think what happens is they are personality driven, though. It's not about the songs as much anymore. If they buy into you, then these other things come along. So it's not about, oh, that was a great song. I love her or I love him. These are the things that it seems we're into. We were into albums and the mood. And
we were more about the musical
the
journey.
music with the person.
Right.
And I think now, if you got enough people on your Facebook or not Facebook, sorry. Look
at us.
Sorry, I just aged it myself. On whatever platform it is, TikTok or Instagram, if you have enough people there, then you are a celebrity.
Yeah.
Now you are one who is an influencer now.
Indeed. Indeed. I think the motivating factor of a fan base now is more so about, wow, I'm getting a glimpse into this incredibly, wonderfully strange life, as opposed to the vocal talents or even the songs, like you said. It's about entertain me with either the train wreck of your life or just how fantastically weird your life is.
Or how naked you can be in one shot.
Right. Or how
Sometimes I'm
naked
going,
you can be.